my business partner, Mr. Ed Mercer.
Thank you so much. He and I have a lot in common. We're cut from the same mold of fox. The other thing we don't go to the same barber. I was born in Canada. I was born in Ontario, Canada, many years ago. When I first came to get involved in businesses like this, as Slava said, I lived in a condemned house. There was no running water, no electricity, no plumbing even. It was like, it was a real bad environment. But I was telling Sly, I used to hitchhike home. I was like 12 years old, I used to hitchhike. And I always had these people drop me off at this beautiful house, right? And they said, "This is where you live?" I said, "Yeah, this is where I live." Right? And I walked home to this condemned house. When I was 19 years old, I bought that house. Right? So I seen the picture, although I was poor, I didn't see myself as being poor. I should see myself as being successful. And everything to me is starts from the top. Yeah? You are what you think you are, right? Your attitude has to do with your altitude. We had some experience last night. Sly owns some hotels, and they wanted to kick me out of the hotel. And I said, "Why is that?" It wasn't my fault. Right? The towels and the robes were so fluffy, I couldn't get my suitcase closed. It wasn't my fault. So we basically, when I first started to get involved in this business, you guys, anybody remember a company called Herbalife?
Yeah.
I went to a meeting similar to this. There was a lot more people, of course. And I went with this young lady, beautiful young lady, and she invited me to this. And she said, "I just want your opinion." I didn't know what it was all about, right? And I finished the meeting, and I said, "I could be #1 in the world at Herbalife." And Mark Hughes, the president of the company, he was on the stage, and he was there with all his entourage of people. Very, everybody ever see him? How handsome he was, handsome guy. Yeah, we're spitting image, right? But anyway, he was on the stage, and I said, "I could be #1 in the world." He said, "How long have you been involved?" I said, "Just getting involved tonight." He said, "Well, we're 8 years old in the industry, and we have 360,000 people in the company. In 60 days, I was #1 in the world." Right? I broke all the world records, broke 4 world records since then. And but Mark did some strange things to his life. Mark went from a Timex to a Rolex, from a Pontiac to a Cadillac, to a house to a penthouse. The problem is he took his life. He died of an overdose of cocaine. So, although he made a lot of money, he didn't grow as a person. Right? So sometimes what you need to do, you need to grow as a person. I have the same situation. I lived in a condemned house, like I said. I had 4 family members in my house, 4 young daughters. 2 of them took their life the same way. So I decided many years ago that no matter what I touched, whether it be a person or an opportunity, I was going to make that person or opportunity better than I found it. I went to Costa Rica. Did anybody ever been to Costa Rica? It's a beautiful place. I don't know if I'll ever make it to heaven or not, but I can touch it from there. It's such a beautiful place. When I went there, I was a Canadian kickboxing champion many years ago before gravity took over. And I was telling my friend that I broke my nose in 3 places. I'm not going back to those 3 places again. And I went to Costa Rica for an Ironman competition. My wife at that time, she was #1 in triathlon. She was #1 in Europe for 8 years in a row. And my brother-in-law was head of the Rad Gorwa anti-terrorist police force out of France. And we went there for a competition, and I was sitting down at the bottom of this mountain, and I seen some unbelievable things. I seen parrots and toucans and monkeys and all kinds of species of birds and butterflies. My wife came said, how do you like it? I said, it's the most amazing place I've ever been. And she had gone up on the mountains with some guy on horseback to see some waterfalls. And she'd come down and she said, you really like it here? And I said, yeah. She said, you better. I said, why? She said, I just bought the entire mountain. That's how we had Costa Rica. $80,000, she bought this entire mountain. Ocean views like you wouldn't believe it. I thought she was crazy at the time, right? And so that's how I ended up in Costa Rica, but there were some things that were happening in Costa Rica that I didn't like. What was happening is the Americans, I know you're all Americans, I apologize in advance. The Americans were coming into Costa Rica and they were taking, you know, the scarlet macaw parrots, the beautiful, beautiful parrots. They were coming in and not only were they taking the parrots and selling them to pet stores, they were actually taking those parrots and they were killing them. And they would kill them and they would sell the feathers on Rodeo Drive for purses and hats and, you know, dresses and that sort of thing. And a lot of people think that they can have anything that money will buy, they can purchase it. True, right? People just get that way. So they thought their children could have a pet monkey. Well, the only way you can have a pet monkey is to kill the mother. And if you don't kill the mother will physically commit suicide. And they were coming in and they were stealing the turtle egg by the thousands, and they were selling them in Asia for aphrodisiacs. So at that time, I'm not trying to impress you, I'm just trying to impress upon you. From where I come from zero to hero, whatever you want, I was a millionaire at 27 years old. And what I did is I donated $3 million of my own money to make sure none of those things existed any longer.
GPS signal lost.
It was like 5,000 almond trees, which is the food of choice for the scarlet macaw parrots, and put up all the feeding stations and everything. Now I have the largest flock of scarlet macaw parrots in all of Costa Rica. I have hundreds of monkeys, and I have thousands of turtle eggs out there. And so I broke a world record at that time. I got inducted into the Environmental Hall of Fame. So I was the only non-Costa Rican in history to ever make it. Now I'm working on a program now on Cocoa Island, Cocoa Beach. It's called shark finning. Everybody, you know what shark finning is? You know what that is? Where they bring the beautiful 2-ton sharks up on board and cut the fins off, push them back in the water so they drown. Right? Because they sell those shark fins in Asia for shark fin soup. Sells for $100 a bowl. Right? Fin is worth $3,000. I've been able to change the laws there. I've been able to, before they were getting fines, but they were making so much money, it was just a joke, right? Oh, so I'll pay the fine. Now they confiscate their boats, they confiscate them, and they put them in prison. I've been able to change the laws there also for growth hormones in animals, for pesticides, herbicides, and all those things. And the reason I'm telling you that is because you'll only live by example. You know? I don't know if you've ever seen a starfish. Have you ever seen sea starfish? I guess they don't have much of an IQ. What they do is they just float up on the shore and they just lay there in the sun and, you know, they bake and they die. There was a guy in Florida, he'd come along and he was seeing these starfish, and he'd come along and start grabbing the starfish and throwing them back into the water. And people seen him doing that, so other people joined in. And then the guy come along and says, there's millions of starfish. How can you make a difference? He reached down and grabbed another one and threw in the water. He says, made a difference to that one. Right? So you can only live by example. You can only, and so when I get involved in things, I want to make sure that I don't watch sports. I was an athlete. I was very involved in sports at one time. I don't watch sports anymore because, you know, I see a hockey game or a football game or a soccer game or whatever. I always find that there's, you know, the winning teams always coming out of the stadium or whatever. Everybody's hugging their loans, waving their flag and high fives, right? And I see the other team walking out of the stage or walking whatever, I'm sadness, right? Because they feel like they've lost. Some people even give up because they're giving up because they lost. So I never play a game anymore, ever again, unless everybody wins. Everybody has to win the game of life. And when I was in Hawaii, and I don't know if you heard of Earth Day, I'm sure you all have Earth Day, right? And I went into the parks in the morning and I started cleaning up the parks. I don't even live in Hawaii, I'm not even an American, right? And people see me cleaning the parks, and so everybody joined in. People come out of their houses and started, cleaning the parks. And I don't know if you're familiar with Hawaii or not, but they have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of street people. They have them everywhere. You know why they have them there? Different states are giving them one-way tickets and dropping them off in Hawaii. And I go over there every morning. I haven't done it much here, but so I don't know what I do. I try every morning to go out and I buy food, and I buy water, and I find a homeless person, and I sit down with that person. And what happened was that, there was a gentleman, he was in the park, his name was John, and he basically been there for 2.5 years. And I said to him, how did you get here? He said, I lost my house due to foreclosure. He says, my wife left me, took out with another guy. Everything was good with her until, when everything was good, but when we got, no custody, she decided to move on. And I said, do you have any family? He said, I have family in Alabama, I have family in Tennessee and Kentucky. I said, do you ever contact them? He said, I don't contact them. They think I'm a loser. I don't have a telephone, I couldn't contact them anyways. So anyways, I got the phone numbers out of his garbage stuff there. I just phoned him on my cell phone, talked to his mother and father, and, the whole thing. And, really neat because I took him to church on Sunday, and Monday they flew in to pick him up. They thought he was dead before that. And so I tried to, we had a guy, we stayed at the hotel also down from Sly's place, and what happened was there was another guy that worked for food. And similar thing, and he basically, he was a young guy, 23 years old, and he basically got in charge, got involved with drugs, selling drugs, and he got caught. And so what happened was that his parents kicked him out. And, you're a drug dealer, they don't want in the house. And his brothers and sisters, but they said, we don't want drug dealers in the house either, right? And so I went to the service station, gas station, and then bought him some food and, brought it back to him. And the guy pulled up, I was so blessed that this guy pulled up and had a pickup truck. And he says, I have some crew that didn't show up today, right? And they needed cleanup guys, right? And so he says, so I just grabbed the guy's stuff and put it in the pickup truck, right? And so anyways, the guy said, if he's a good worker, I'll give him a full-time job. We went back there the day the guy was gone. The guy gave him a full-time job. So sometimes we do that, it's like taking an apple, you can take an apple and you can break it open and you can find all these seeds in the apple, right? And you don't know, sometimes you can plant that seed and you can grow an apple tree, or sometimes you can make an entire orchard. So sometimes what we do is we look at somebody, we look at their appearance, we look at somebody that, maybe have deficiencies in their life, and we prejudge that person. But we've never walked a mile in their shoes, right? I'm just going to tell you one quick story. I was in Miami not long ago, and here I am in Miami, and I'm staying in this 5-star hotel. And I worked hard all my life. I owe it to myself to drive first class and also, stay in nice places. And I'm walking down the street, and this guy says to me, he says, nice Italian shoes. And I thought, well, a lot of people wear Italian shoes, right? And then he said to me, what a beautiful Versace suit. Most people can't tell Versace from the Valentino or from the Gucci or whatever, right? And so I said, he got my attention. The guy, honest to God, you could smell him from here to the reception desk. He hadn't bathed or showered or done anything for a long, long time, 6 months, maybe even more. And so, but he got my attention, and he said to me, Versace suit. I said, how did you know it was a Versace suit? He says, well, I used to work for Versace. I was the head of security for Versace. He says, he got killed. I don't know if you remember he got killed. And I said, well, that's no reason for you to fall to pieces just because your boss got killed. He says, no, he says, I'm a Christian, he says. He says, I go to church every Sunday and I believe in God. And he says, for some reason, he says, something came up, I didn't go to church. And he says, the drunken driver came up over the curb. He says, the guy was on an all-night binge. He came up and he said, my wife and 3 kids were in the car. He says, my 2 children died instantly, my wife died instantly, my 3rd child died 2 days later. So there was a Walgreens on the corner, and I went down, and I got a bunch of food and water, and lots of things for him. And come back, and he said I'd like to read, and I got him some eyeglasses and reading glasses. And I gave him some money, and the next day I came out, there he was standing there. He said, "Hey, Ed." And I picked up, I didn't recognize the guy. He went and he got a shower and shaved, got his hair cut, and bought some clothes with the money I gave him. I said, "Do you want to go play? What do you want to do today?" I said, "What do you like doing?" He said, "I love playing pool. I play professional pool." So I said, "Oh my God, this is a blessing for me. I play pool all day, right?" And so we go to the pool room, and I said, "Would you like a beer?" He said, "Oh no, I quit drinking." I said, "When did you quit drinking?" He says, "Last night." I quit drinking last night. Yeah, he said, "You know, I laid here between Christmas and New Year's. They built a beautiful spot in Miami, and he said people were coming out of the bars, urinating on me, throwing their cigarette butts on me, doing all kinds of things, you know." And he said, "You were the first person that ever tried to help me." And the next day, I see him again. He's waiting for me again. And the next day, what happened was that he comes to me and said, "Ed, I got a job." I said, "What doing?" He said, "I got a job parking cars. I got $10 an hour and plus tips, and they give me a place to live." And so I went there, and it was amazing. It was a nice little basement apartment, but had a fridge, a stove, washer, dryer, television, you know. And so, you know, this got nothing to do with what I'm here to talk to you about today, but I just wanted to let you know that it's not how much money you make, it's what you become as a result of it. Because I do seminars, and I became a millionaire at 27 years old. But I was doing a seminar in Toronto, Canada. And I'm on the stage, and you know, it's hard for me to pitch myself. It's hard for me to believe. I was making $300,000 for one day. One day. You can live on that if you cut back, right? and here I am making that money. And I got on the stage and I started crying. Right? And I said to people, if you want your money back, all you need to do is go to the cashier and they'll give you your money. Because what had happened is I made 35 people millionaires. But some of these people, they didn't grow as a person, as an income group, right? You know, guys went out and, you know, guys that were casual drinkers become alcoholics. Guys that were casual drug users become drug addicts. My two brothers were two, they both died. Younger brothers, my good friend died too. And so what happened is that they went out and they went, like I say, you know, they didn't grow as a person, you know, and all of a sudden they became promiscuous, they became drug addicts, you know, women and men, right? And some of them went out, they got, you know, the Mr. T starter kit, you know, loaded up with all the jewelry and all the stuff, right? And so I decided from there on in that I was only going to do programs that made people grow as a person. And that's how I started out my life. And so when I have over 80,000 followers now on social media. And with my new book, The 8th Grade Millionaire, it's a New York bestseller. You can't buy it in the stores. I donate all the money to charities, so you can buy it on Amazon. I don't try to sell anything. Basically, all the money that I make goes to charity anyway. So I'm receiving a lot of real fantastic emails from people from all over the world, you know, people that we can touch. You know? To me, that's what it's all about. And so when I went to the good on Amazon, and everybody came to me and they wanted me to do a reality show, and I said, okay. They said, could you make up something for a reality show? And I said, yeah, I have a perfect idea for a reality show. Right? And so my idea was, you know, maybe you guys think this is wild, but you know, I decided here's what I'm going to do. I have 35,000 acres of land. Can you imagine anyone ever met someone? Isn't that crazy? Right? What I did is I gave it all away. I gave everything away. I spent the first half of my life making money, I spent the second half giving it away. Because for 25 years, these people worked for me, you know, their families worked for me. I went to I was there when the children were born in some cases. I was there during their graduations. I was there during families' funerals and weddings. And these people dedicated their whole life to me Because if it wasn't for those people, I wouldn't be where I am today. And so I started giving things away, and my idea of a reality show was so different than anybody else in history. I said, take away my money, take away my car, take away my credit cards, give me $500, just $500, and drop me off in any city in the United States, regardless of the economy, regardless of anything, just drop me off, right? So they thought I was a little crazy, but perhaps I am, right? And I said, within 90 days, I will have a $1 million house and a brand new Mercedes. So all these people were coming in with all this big money and saying, we want to play your game. This is interesting. This is exciting. This will be a #1 reality show. You see some of these reality shows they're pretty weird, right? Right? And so I'm saying, then they started doing their due diligence. People started checking up on me, and they understood I broke 4 world records and different things. And they said, well, maybe it's a bad decision, bad investment, because what's going to happen is he's not going to, it's going to be a very bad reality show, because I'm going to be the only player in the reality show, right? And it's not going to take 90 days, and you can probably do a blindfold in 30 days. And so they pulled out. Right? And so they said, look, we do have another challenge for you. We have a challenge of you to make 100 new millionaires. And I get about 200 emails a week from, unfortunately, I'd like to share with you that they're positive emails. Unfortunately not. Right. I'm getting people telling me that, people I've worked with over the years that, lived in beautiful homes, drove nice cars, provided beautiful vacations for their family. Their homes are under foreclosure, right? I've got people where their mortgages are upside down, their dreams have been shattered, right? And they're sending out, emails to me, how can you help them? Unfortunately, my arms are not long enough to reach out and touch them, right? So I thought the only way that I could benefit these people is to provide them with an opportunity. So when they asked me to put together 100 new millionaires, I have to be straight up with you. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I had no idea. But I have a plaque on my desk that says, once you've done your best, to hell with it. Okay? And I decided, that I had to figure out something. I had to do something to make this work. And so I traveled around for 8 months consistently, 7 days a week. I traveled across Canada, the United States, and Europe, trying to find a vehicle, trying to find a product, trying to find something. I thought, well, if you guys know of anything that will make 100 new people millionaires, please tell me, because I thought there's no way. I mean, real estate, if you want to make $1 million in real estate, the only way I know is to start with $2 million and end up with 1. People says, I want to make money. If you want to make money, get a job at the mint. Well, that's where they make money. Right? For someone to put together 100 millionaires, everybody thought it was an impossibility. But it couldn't be done. Right? And I've already broken 4 world records, so I knew that no matter what the deal was, I could do it. So what happened was, after 64 companies and after 8 months of working, I said, okay, what I'm going to do, I was blessed on the 8th month in 64 companies. I found something called Organo Gold. And when I looked at Organo Gold, I went to a convention, hey guys, in Las Vegas. And when I went there, they said, how many people in the company are making over $100,000 a year? Well, I know what happens in the economy. Less than 5% of the population makes consistently over $100,000 a year. So when they said how many, the whole stage filled up to the top. The stage filled up to capacity full of people at $100,000 a year. And they said, how many people make $250,000 a year? The whole stage filled up again to capacity. I thought, my God, this is incredible. I said, how many people make $500,000? Well, the stage wasn't so full, of course, but there was a lot of people.
Good, how are you?
I think there's how many people making $1 to $2 million a year? There was 12 people. $2 to $4 million a year. There was 6 people over $4 million a year. It was 3 people. I thought, my gosh, this is incredible. What happened was, is that they came to me 4 years ago when the company opened. And like I said, I was #1 in the world. I broke all records in multi-level marketing in the world. And when I left there, I went to work with a company called Mary Kay Cosmetics. Anybody ever heard of that? I didn't drive the big Cadillac. In San Francisco, I did. No. So basically, and then I worked for the company called New Skin. I supplied them with all their facial masks, millions of dollars worth of facial masks, and I made a few dollars there. And so anyways, they asked me 4 years ago when the company first started if I would come on board as a life coach. And at that time I wasn't interested because I was working with National Geographic at the time. I got inducted into the Hall of Fame. And so when I got on the stage, this guy here is African American, this guy here. It's not hard to tell which one was which. Anyways, couldn't figure it out, couldn't they? So anyway, what happened is that he was on the stage and for 1 month he made $920,000. I had 1 month, $920,000. That's pretty good.
I bet.
Yeah, I lived on that. And this guy here was $840,000 for the month, and this guy was $520,000 for the month. So the funny part of this, they all knew me, and they said, what are you doing here? So I'm just checking out the company. That was my 64th company. And so basically what I wanted to do, even with all that money, I had not made my decision to join the company. Because I will analyze everything to death. I will make sure there's no flies in the ointment, and make sure, because like I said, when I play a game, everybody that plays a game with me wins. There's never a loser. Yeah? You can Google Mother Teresa, you can Google the Pope, or you find something negative. You won't find anything negative about me. I've never owed anybody any money. I've always been under promise and over deliver. And part of that. So what happens is that I wanted to talk to the people. I wanted to talk to the people that were down here. I didn't want to talk to the people up here. Right? Because my whole deal was how to make 100 people, new people, millionaires, not to make millionaires richer than they already are. Right? That was not my deal. And so after looking at, I stayed in the morning, I stayed at the MGM Grand for 8 days. My wife and I stayed there. And I wanted to talk to the real people. So I talked to secretaries, I talked to factory workers, I talked to carpenters, and all people from all walks of life. But what really resonated with me is that I started talking to people that had their own businesses. People that they had their own carpentry business or plumbing business or whatever type of business. And they were saying to me, yeah, we own our own business, but we don't. The business owns us, right? They said, what's happening with the economy the way it is, with the price of gasoline, with the price of hiring people, with the price of electrical bills and water bills, and insurance and all that sort of stuff. We're just hanging on, we're just breaking even. And they were telling me with this company here, they're making $8, $10, $12, $15,000 a month. But what really affected me is when people said, my son plays soccer, or my daughter plays soccer, or baseball, or whatever. And this is the first time in years we've been actually physically able to go to a game. Our marriage was falling apart, because in fact we weren't spending any time together, we never had meals together. And now here's an opportunity where we can spend time together with our family. So to me, family is very important. And especially when family's important is when you don't have one. And so basically, I started going through all the people, and they were telling me all the good stuff that was going on. But the weirdest part of it was that people started telling me, oh yeah, I lost 60 pounds, I lost 80 pounds, I lost 20 pounds. And I'm looking at them like deer in the headlights. I have no idea what you're talking about. Organo Gold's a coffee company. You guys are talking about health. Yeah, people are saying I got rid of my sinus problems, I got rid of my acne, I got rid of this. And that. I have no idea what you're talking about. They said, well, we have this products of coffee, but we have the only healthy coffee in the entire world. I was not allowed in the gym when I was to work out with kickboxing. Basically, we were not allowed to have coffee because coffee was always considered something bad. Right? coffee was considered unhealthy for you. So I could not, it's like an oxymoron to me, mentioning coffee and health all in the same sentence. Right? And so they were talking to me about Ganoderma. I said, what the heck is Ganoderma? The only thing that kept me out of university was high school, right? I never did go to school, so yeah, I thought Ganoderma, I had no idea what to talk about Ganoderma. They said, oh, it's a reishi mushroom. I was even more confused. The heck is a reishi mushroom, right? Something like that. But anyway, so they said, so I went through the whole thing. And they were telling me, well, that balances the pH in your body. It's an antioxidant, and even people, and they call it the king of herbs. Why did they call it the king of herbs? Because it was only available to kings. It was only available to royalty. Only the top people in the world could have this product, right? Because what it does, it increased your intellectuality. They use it for Alzheimer's. And still to this very day, after 4,000 years, this is number one herb in the world. What the company do, they've grown the largest farm in the world of Ganoderma. It's about $240 million of their own money to process this product and put it into coffee, tea, and hot chocolate. Is that really good? Yeah. Can you imagine with all the companies in the world, you have the only product in the world? Imagine. Imagine you have the only bottle, the only phone in the world. We have the only licensed Ganoderma coffee in the entire world. Entire world. After 4,000 years of studies, so they started talking to me about. So I wanted to do a little more studies, and they said, well, there's 3 million pages written about Ganoderma. I think 3 million pages. How much more documentation do you need than that? 3 million pages. So I started. So again, I still never made a decision to take on a deal to make hundreds of people right here. So what I wanted to do, there's 1,200 well-developed marketing companies in the world. There's 1,200, okay? And you don't have to tell me if you've ever been involved with one. You don't have to tell me what company you all are involved with, or if you've ever been involved with one. But I can tell you one thing, no matter what company you've been with, they all have two or three things in common. One of the things that they have in common is only 2.2% of the total population will physically buy, use, or consume your products consistently on a daily basis. So don't beat yourself up, man. If you didn't make any money, it's not your fault. 2.2% of the people physically buy, use, and consume those products on a daily basis. Now, I'm going to use their figures, 2.2%. I don't even believe those figures are accurate. Because I've been in this business of life coach for over 30 years. I don't know one company other than Organic Gold in the whole world where people buy, use, and consume their product consistently day by day. Right? I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. So what I did is that I didn't want to get involved with people making $900,000, $600,000 a month. They all wanted to be on board, of course. No. What I did, I went to my pastor. I went to my church. My pastor had no idea what multiple marketing was. He had no idea, right? But he was making I live in Costa Rica, so this guy was making $180 a month as a pastor. So I had him sign me up. He didn't have a car, he didn't have nothing, he was living with his mother. He doesn't do that anymore, trust me when I tell you. Yeah, his car is a little changed, his address has changed, things changed. Because he signed me up into the business, right? Because I wanted to donate the money to the church. But what had happened is that when I went to the congregation, I said, how many people in the company, in the congregation, drink coffee, tea, or hot chocolate? 96%. 96% of the people drink coffee, tea, or hot chocolate. So I thought 2.2%, 96%, right? Then I wanted to do more research. So I started looking at all the other 1,200 companies in the world. They have all these lotions and potions and all this sort of stuff, and guarantee not to wear hair, grow hair, slide in the winter, all these things that you're supposed to do. Guess what? Coffee outsells all 1,200 products in the entire world. There's only one liquid that outsells coffee, and that's water. And you need water to make coffee. Right? So I'm thinking, oh my God, we have the only product in the world that exceeds all 1,200 other companies in the world. So then I started looking at commodities. What is the number one commodity in the world? Number one commodity in the world? Oil. Number two is coffee. So they took, right now oil is at $92 a barrel. If they took coffee and put it into a barrel, it'd be worth $3,360 for a barrel of coffee. So coffee is the most expensive commodity in the world too, on top of that. And so then I started looking at all of the different things about every company, regardless, I don't care again, they all fit in the same category, all 1,200 companies. You need to be trained, right? They have training courses, training calls, training tapes, right? Training wheels. Right? They have everything to do with training. Right? People are not going to change. They're not going to change. Right? And so I never had to train anybody to drink coffee. That's amazing. I never trained you to do that, did I? So you don't have to train anybody to drink your product. Right? So here you are with the number one product in the world. Right? And you don't have to train anybody. I told you I was involved with a company called Herbalife, and anybody ever was involved with Herbalife? Herbalife is the number one nutrition company in the world. 35 people who worked for me became millionaires. I was the number one distributor in the world. I broke all world records as a distributor. And what had happened, I did it in 60 days, by the way. And so what happened is that they tell you in Herbalife, you get this powder, right? You got to shake the can, you got to fluff it up, right? Remember that? You got to fluff it all up. And it's really neat because they tell you got to mix it and skim milk. You love skim milk, right? It's really yummy for you, right? And the skim milk or unsweetened fruit juice. That's really nice for you too. I really like that. So, anyways, then you got to weigh yourself. You got to measure yourself every single day, right? And you phone people up. You got to phone them every day. Did you measure yourself? Did you take your product? Did you do this? Did you do that? And someone said, "Oh, I've got diarrhea." Fantastic! Oh my God, it's working for you, right? Oh, that's really. Oh, I'm constipated. Oh, fantastic! Oh my God, this product really doing its job, right? Or I've broken out in a rash. My whole body's covered in a rash. Detoxification. Isn't that good, right? So when I seen this, I got so excited because I had 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-olds making $4,000 and $5,000 and $6,000 a month already, right? So they asked me to come to the United States. I opened up in Brazil, I opened up in Holland, I opened up in some other countries. But I live in Costa Rica, and so they asked me, could I come to the United States? And I said, what country are you opening up next? They said, we're opening up Japan. And I said, what country or what state has the most influence on the Orient? Of course, they mentioned Hawaii. So that's how I met Slag. That's how I ended up in Hawaii. But in 7 weeks, I had 12 people making over $10,000 a month, right? In 7 weeks. But the reason I'm telling you that, it's not such a big deal that they're making $10,000 a month. The big deal is that they become rubies. They're called rubies at that level. What happens is the company, it's unbelievable, the company gives 3%, and they take in millions, not millions a week, millions a day. They take in millions of dollars per day. And what they do is they take 3% of all that money and they divide it with all the people, rubies and above. Can you imagine what your bonus check would be? You know why? Because you got 40,000 new people per month joining the company. So people are going to get checks for $250,000 per month. Facts. So once you become a diamond with the company, what happens, and I'm going to go through that in a second, but once you become a diamond, for example, you were to get into a car accident, or heaven forbid, you get stricken with a disease, if you're hospitalized or anything, the company sends in their diamonds, their top people into your area, builds your business for you. Right? I had a guy at $16,000 a month. He was in a critical car accident. By the time he got out of the hospital and everything, he was making $60,000 a month. The company brought all the people in to work with us. person. Right? So for me, I've never seen a company do things like that. Right? So what is happening now, I'm leaving here tomorrow morning. Actually, I'm going back to Hawaii for 2 days, and I'm going to Virginia. And if you have anybody in any state of the United States, I have training going on in all 50 states of the United States. So, no matter where they are, all you have to do is contact me, and I'll sponsor those people and put them into your organization. But at the end of August, I'm going to a convention in Louisiana. My goal is to have, I know it's getting near the end of the month, so next month, my goal is to have everybody in this room at the Ruby level. At the Ruby level, what happens at the Ruby level, your income is around $10,000 a month. Okay? And at $10,000 a month, that's pretty good money, I would say. That's $120,000 a year. That's good money. And at the end of August, I want everybody in this room to become diamonds. At diamond level, your income is $20,000 to $25,000 a month. You go to the convention with me in LA, right? You walk onto the stage, we present you with a diamond ring, a beautiful graduation diamond ring. Your income is, like I said, $20,000 to $25,000 a month. And we present you with a brand new, the keys to a brand new Mercedes Benz of your choice. I think you know a good Mercedes Benz, right? Right? I think so.
Yep.
What about you? Think you like good Mercedes? Huh? You probably already have one, right?
No.
Okay. That was a girl last night. She said, I look good in the Volkswagen. But the thing is, that is what we're doing. That is the concept of what we're doing. And what I'm trying to do here today is not to impress you, but to impress upon you, that all the things that are going on out there, and I'm sure some of you have had some shattered dreams, right? Or, sometimes if you continue doing what you've always been doing, you'll keep getting what you've always been getting, right? In order for things to change, we must change, we have to shift gears with the economy the way it is. And, people come to me and they say, oh, the government let us down. No. Or our parents let us down. No, not true. Government don't owe you anything. Your parents don't owe you anything. Right? God gave you breath. God gave you life. That's what you do with that. I found out one thing coming from the streets, right? When I found out whether, it's amazing when I found out whether you're rich or poor. We all have 1,440 minutes every single day, right? 8,650 ticks of the clock every single day. It's what we do with that time that we have, that we're given. I watched the program, and there's 3 people from the disability hospital. They won the Florida State Lottery. And it was $27 million, and they split the money, $9 million each. It was a disability hospital, and the lady there was she was in a car accident, and she was already married, and she had 2 children and a husband, and they were happily married, and she got into a real bad car accident, and she lost her eyesight. And they asked her what she was going to do with her $9 million. She says, if I could only see my husband and children, I'd give up my $9 million. The other person was in a wheelchair, been in a wheelchair since birth, all decrepit and everything. They said, what are you going to do with your $9 million? She said the same thing. If I could only get out of this wheelchair, I'd be very grateful to give up my $9 million. The other person was deaf and dumb. So if I could only speak and hear, I'd give up my $9 million. So at that time, even though I was living in a condemned house, I said, I'm worth $27 million. I can speak, I can hear, I can walk, I can talk, I can do all those things. So no one owes you anything. Right? There's opportunities out there, but there's opportunities are like a farmer, like a good crop. They don't come along very often. Right? And so the guy says, I don't know how to spell procrastination, but I'll look it up tomorrow, right? Because that's what people do. They have a tendency to procrastinate. I got to tell you something. When I read books, write books and read books. I've read over 150 motivational books. When you get into my vehicle every day, as soon as you turn on an ignition, motivation takes out, right? Because the thing is, I don't listen to all the other stuff, right? Because you are a product of what you read and what you watch and who you associate with. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. That's what my mother always said to me, you show me your friends, And so I used to work with a program called Scared Straight. Anybody heard of Scared Straight? I was a mediator between probation and prison. I've seen people shot to death, kicked to death, stabbed to death, overdosed. I've had people dying in front of me, right? And they brought in all of these people. They brought in all of these so-called psychiatrists and so-called, people, people that were going to help these children, psychologists and everything. The government, the American government, Canadian government, spent millions and millions of dollars, right, to help these people. They had 18% success rate. I don't know how the heck they could call it success rate. They had 18%, right? I had a 76% success rate because I could walk the talk. And I grew up where they grew up, right? So I understood the system. But what happened is all these churches got together and stopped me. A lot of people got together and stopped me because my program was called Scared Straight. So people were not, not in tune to what I was doing but it wasn't called, Scared Happy. It was called Scared Straight. I had to use some tactics, right? The tactics that I'm not going to share with you, but I can tell you something work. People that were big muscular guys with all their masculine and their tattoos and all their stuff, they were breaking down. They were breaking down big time. Because something, no one ever talked to them. So that's what happens. We prejudge people sometimes. I worked with John Howard Society. John Howard Society is an organization. When you get out of prison, you can't get a job, right? And because you have a criminal record. And so I was a mediator between the prisoner and the employer, right? Because what happens is you can't get a job with a criminal record. And so what happens with those people, they become a second-time offender, right? Because they don't have a choice, they have to commit a crime. The third time you become institutionalized, you spend the rest of your life in prison, right? But if you talk to some of those people, and I have talked to thousands, they don't want to be there, right? It wasn't their choice, We didn't give them that opportunity, We went out there and we prejudged these people that they were bad people only because of the fact, where did they live, the color of their skin, the religion, and all these different things, right? And so, like I said, I decided many years ago that no matter what I touched would be a person or an opportunity, I was going to make it better than I found it. And I can honestly tell you, in 30 years as a life coach, as a millionaire trainer, this is by far the best opportunity I've ever had the opportunity to share with any human being. This by far is the best, right? And if you fail at this, please just keep your job. Don't ever look at any other company because this is so simple. When I was, anybody got some product? Coffee? When I became #1 in the world with Herbalife, like I said, there's 360,000 distributors and they're 8 years old. I become #1 in the world in 60 days. My first paycheck was $102,000. Then I went on to break the world record of the highest paid record in the world, right? And what happened is that I called it the 5-foot rule. Meaning that if you're within 5 feet of me, I was going to be talking to you about the opportunity, right? And so, a lot of people have jobs, right? I had a job, I didn't like it, but, a lot of people have jobs, right? And so I decided I was going to treat Herbalife like a job. So people get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, they fight the traffic, they go through all this sort of stuff, they fight the traffic on the way home, and they come home all disturbed and upset with their spouse, everything's going haywire. And then they see all these bills coming in and they get a little more negative. The divorce rate right now is over 50% in this country, right? And people, basically it's because of money. In most cases it's because of money. And so what happens is that I call it the 5-foot rule, and what I would do, if you're within 5 feet of me, I'd be talking to you about my opportunity. But they told me I had to bring in 5 people per month. And I said, okay. So what I did is I break all the rules. Every time I talk to 20 people a day. I call it celebrate or fix, right? So if I finish at 11 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, that was okay. I would celebrate. Or if it took 3 or 4 o'clock, then I'd do it until I could, I have to fix it. And so I used to work out every day at the YMCA because I was a kickboxer and I used to get the YMCA for free. And I would invite those 20 people on a Monday night to an opportunity meeting, right? Out of that, 10 would show, right? I did have private meetings. Everybody have a private meeting? That's when no one shows. I was the other guy there, right? Well, me take your pyramid, right? And so, but I would invite 20 people. Hopefully 10 would show. And sometimes 15 would show, right? And I would say to them, okay, we're going to have another meeting on Tuesday night, but I talked to 20 people again on Tuesday. I said, you can all come to the meeting on Tuesday night, but there's no cost to get in, but you must bring 2 people. If you don't bring 2 people, don't show up, right? And so sometimes they didn't show up. That's okay. But the ones that did show up with 2 people, it was sort of a training for the other people because they knew they had to bring 2 people. You know, speed of the leader is always the speed of the time. People will do what you do, right? And so what happened was that I started Tuesday, I started Wednesday, I started Thursday to Friday, doing the same thing. By Saturday, I'd have 100 people. And I'd do a training on Saturday, right? And then that's what's happened. I became #1 in the world of the company within 60 days, right? Is that simple? It's so simple, it's easy, right? So I was telling my friend Sly, I bought, all the Bullflex machines. You ever see those Bullflex machines, right? I was in such good financial position one time. They even hired a guy to work out for me. He was buff, man. He looked good, right? And so anyway, I just decided, that what I was going to do is I was going to order this Bullflex machine, right? I seen it on late night TV, and then, man, I got to have one of those, right? And so what happened, I got all excited. They said, it's going to take 14 days for delivery. I said, no chance, right? I want this thing delivered as quickly as I can get it. He says, it's going to cost a lot of money. It's not fair. Right? Just ship it overnight, right? So 8 years later, when I sold my house, it was still in the box. I give it away with the house when I sold my house. And what I'm saying is the road to hell is always paved with great intentions. You leave your room like this, you leave a meeting like this, and you get also, yeah, man, I'm going to do exactly what you said. And guess what? People that make New Year's resolutions, over 90% break them the first day. Right? So the thing is that, I can always tell the people that have the eye of the tiger. I can always pick them out. I can always tell the ones that are going to make it to the next level. And so I thought, well, what I'm going to do with this here, I want to show people how they can become a millionaire with this company. Okay. I want Tina, you drink coffee, tea, or not? You drink everything? All? Okay. Where do you buy your coffee personally? Walmart. Does Walmart send you a check every week?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to send you a check every week. Okay, for drinking coffee. If you recommend me to Walmart, will they give me a referral? Referral fee?
Yeah.
I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to give you a referral fee for every person you refer. Okay. You drink cream and sugar, or you drink it with fat? Cream and sugar. So I'm going to give you this, Tina. What I want you to do is I want you to take that home tonight, and I want you to try the product, okay? And I want your phone number because I need to call you tomorrow and see how you like the product. Morning or afternoon would be good for you? Tomorrow morning? Okay. Do you like to buy the product wholesale or retail? Wholesale, I just got a customer. Imagine, that's all I have to do. I just got a customer, she wants to buy wholesale. Well, I go there. 100% of the people will buy the product. Do that 10 times a day. Say you're lazy, and you only do it 10 instead of 20. 5 days a week, you got 50 customers. 50 customers will make you a millionaire in this business. You know something? It's so easy to do. It's so easy not to do. Right? So I'm so happy I'm not educated. I'm so happy I didn't go to school. You know, I talk to people 30 years old, they're still paying off their student loan. Good. Then you're 30 years old, so what do? You want to get married, right? You want to have children. First one can come anytime, the second one takes 9 months. So you end up having a child, right? And so now you have all of these other things you have to, you know, the average American person in 3 weeks, only 3 weeks with no paycheck, no money coming into the household, is in the bankruptcy state. The average American person has $6,000 on the credit cards. Most of the richest countries in the world, right? So, you know, my mother, God bless her soul, my mother, she said to me, she says, I'm going to play bingo, right? Bingo's a big thing in Canada, right? She says, as soon as I lose $20, I'm coming home. She already programmed herself to lose, right? I have people say, I'm going to Vegas, as soon as I lose $1,000, I'm quitting. Right? And people say, well, I'm going to get married, but I need a prenup. They've already planned it, the marriage is not going to work. Right? My accountant says to me the other day, what if it don't work? I said, what if it does? I says, that's why you make $45,000 a year and I make $45,000 a month. Right? That's the difference. See, sometimes people go out, and while I'm making millions of dollars, people are making millions of excuses. That doesn't happen. Yeah, excuses. You know, opinions for librarians, everybody has one. You know, if you look at who's involved in this industry, Warren Buffett is involved in wealth marketing. Donald Trump, Robert Kiyosaki, all the top movie stars are all involved. I meet with these people all the time. Right? Donald Trump said the other day, you know, a long time ago, he said, if you lost every dime you had, every dollar you had, first thing you do is get involved in the marketing company. It is the business of the 21st century. And what is happening right now is that with the economy the way it is, and somebody says, you know, Ed Mercer, I want you to make 100 new people millionaires. I'm willing to listen to anybody in this room. If you can show me another way to make 100 new people millionaires, I'll open up my doors to you, because I'll tell you one thing, there is not another way. There is not another way. You know, to own a franchise, you have to be a millionaire to start with. Right? You know, McDonald's, the largest hamburger franchise in the world for 60 years. What did they do? They got rid of Ronald McDonald. Sylvester has his shoes, look. They got rid of Ronald McDonald. Right? Why did they do that? Because they changed from the kids menu to the coffee menu. It's called McCafe. Can you imagine? The largest franchise in the world. Look at Subway, look at Quiznos, look at all those. They say the break-even point is 5 years. So you can spend $100,000. You know, work Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, work for 5 years to break even, right? And then they introduced the coffee menu. They changed it from 5 years to 3 years, and the shares went up 20% the first day they issued it. Then they sold coffee. Look at Dunkin' Donuts, the largest donut franchise in the entire world. And the big donut, no more. It's a cup of coffee. They make more money selling coffee than they make selling donuts. So here we are with a product. Not only were we coffee, but we had the only product in the entire world. Can you imagine if you had exclusive to anything? You had the only car dealership in the world. You had the only restaurant. You only had the only beauty salon. Right? We have Starbucks right here. We have it in their hands. And the most money you can spend is $1,300. That's the most you can spend, right? That's the most you can spend. There's no more money you can spend. And what happens is that once you get involved with the business, we also have a mentoring program. I charge $5,000 for a mentoring program, right? And I do it for you guys for free. And you're on conference calls every day, or I work with your people. And what happens is, when I come back from Hawaii, I only knew one person in Hawaii 7 weeks ago. One person. I've got 700 people in 7 weeks. Wow. But the reason I'm telling you that story is because I have people in Hawaii that only brought 3 or 4 or 5 people into the business. But they got 500, 600 people in their organization. Right? Because I have to place those people somewhere in your organization. So can you imagine getting paid for hundreds of people that you don't even know? We have conference calls the other day where we've had people in 30 states, we had people from Fiji, people from all over the place. We had a guy from Peru. Peru called me today. So we have people from all over the world getting involved in the business after you, but they fall into your organization, so you're getting paid from people you don't even know. Is that good or good? Yeah. So again, it's not how you get involved, it's when you get involved. That is the most important thing. So, like I said earlier, the guy says, I don't know how to stop procrastination, but we've got tomorrow, right? The key is that if you're going to do something, now is the time, not tomorrow, not next week, And so what I'm going to do, I just want to suggest what you do today, okay? We have something, like I said, it's called the Gold Pack, right? But if you're really serious, that's all I'm here for today is try to separate the serious from the curious, right? If you're real serious about building a business, you need to start off with a Gold Pack. We have other areas, that you can get involved with. And just talking about to accelerate you to the next level real quick, to become a Ruby next month. Gold packing, you need to have two people that you know and trust, two people that if you're opening up a new business today, who would you want to be your sales manager? Who would you want to be your CEO? Who would you want to be a leader in your group? You bring 2 more people in at the same level with the Gold Pack. And what that does, like I said, it gets you into the pay line and gets you moving forward so we can start working with those 2 people. So that's exciting to me. And I'm going to open it up now to questions. Anybody have any questions? Do you have any questions?
All right, my first question is, how much experience do you have to have business-wise
Yeah, that's a good question. How much experience do you need to have experience? I have a girl, she lived in a car. Wasn't even her car. She was homeless. She was homeless. And she got in with us in the coffee business, and she moved out of the car into an apartment. Now she lives in a house. Now her income is $20,000 a month. Right? Had another lady that the people, she was 81 years old. People were physically bringing her food to her house that she didn't have food. She's at $20,000 a month. Right? Because everybody she knows, everybody they know, drink coffee. Right? And all of a sudden, not only did they drink coffee, they drink a healthy product for the first time in their life. So people that have arthritis, people that have rheumatoid, people that have all sorts of problems with their health, people start noticing the difference immediately, and they start telling all their friends and neighbors about the product. So you don't need to have any experience, and that's the whole thing on this. There's no training involved. You don't need to be trained to be able to do this.
Another question. Will you distribute it to coffee shops?
The coffee comes from Brazil, and it comes also from Jamaica. We grow our own, we have our own plantation from Ganoderma. We're the only licensed company in the world, and that's where it comes from.
But what I was asking, would you be able to, like, say, someone who owns a coffee shop?
Yes.
Would you sell your product?
Yes. Yeah, good question. What you can do is I have people, I have a girl, actually she did a flea market, and she made $5,700 in 2 days at a flea market. Right? I had another girl, she did a car show, and she made $6,300 in 2 days. And the only reason she didn't make more money, she ran out of coffee. See, what happens is that, for example, you go to a beauty salon. So what happens is, you go to a beauty salon, and what they do, they say, oh, would you like a cup of coffee, right? There's a cup of coffee that's been sitting on the burner, sitting there. Maybe there's this much left in the pot, right? Or somebody comes in and they have to pour it out, they have to make a fresh pot of coffee and that sort of stuff, right? So with this here, all they have to do is be able to heat hot water. I think first of all, anybody can do that. But wouldn't it be neat to walk into a place, a beauty salon or someplace where they say, oh, would you like a mochaccino? Would you like a cappuccino? Would you like a latte? Would you like green tea? Right? It's so simple, right? So we have people selling it to car dealerships, they're selling it to office environments, hospitals, health clubs, yoga clubs. I have it in 5-star restaurants. I have it at the airports, in the VIP rooms, right? So it's gourmet coffee. It's the only healthy coffee in the world. So to answer your question, yeah, you can sell it anywhere, right? So it doesn't matter where you sell it. It's a matter of the fact that just if you get out of bed in the morning, right, and go to work, that's all you have to do. I know networking means work, but I know it's a 4-letter word, but still, you need to go to work every day. If you do this like you would do a normal job, what do you do now?
I work for my brother.
Your brother? What's your brother do?
He has two taquerias, and then he's partnered with in a barbecue restaurant, and then he's starting. He's partnered with 2 other people. And he's starting a hamburger.
Okay. So you've got a very entrepreneurial brother.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Yeah, a very entrepreneurial brother. If he's seen this because he's entrepreneurial, I guarantee you he'd be all excited.
Oh, I know.
So here's what you need to do. You need to get involved and sign up your brother. You don't have to worry about making money anymore. You don't have to worry about working for. Don't worry about working for your brother. Right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying to you, I would like to reach out and help you. Right? I'd like to guide you into the next level. Right? You're here for a reason today. Right? I'd like to be that instrument. I'd like to be the person that took you to the next level. Okay? Any more questions?
Sure. Again, thank you so much for being here. I know that you're going to be leaving for Hawaii here for a few days and go to Virginia. How is it that we can still plug into training, or how can we work it so we can introduce people here?
I'm on conference calls every day. Okay, 3 conference calls a day. You guys have my phone number too. And there's 3 ways. What happens is that what I need you all to do, I don't need calls, people just call me and say, hi, John told me to call you. I need you to have the people Google me, okay? 85% of the people that Google me get involved in the business, right? I have guys, for example, a guy this month, his income is $20,000 to $25,000 a month in 5 weeks. 5 weeks. His name is Derek Scott. Derek Scott's income, unbelievable, right? You know what he did? He had a whole whack of people Google me, a whole whack of them. Derek works for business. He has 150 stores that he supplies, Walmart, ABC stores in Hawaii. He doesn't come to my meetings. He doesn't phone me. He doesn't talk to me. He doesn't do anything. His income is around $20,000 a month, right? Because he had all these people Google me. They got excited about what they heard, right? And they signed up into the business, right? So the key is use me as a tool to succeed, right? Because there's a method to my madness, though, right? I don't sponsor people. I don't go and sponsor people. I'm here for you guys. I've already made all the money I need today, right? I'm here for you guys. The whole thing is with me now is my whole deal is to be in the Guinness Book of World Records, to make 100 new people millionaires, and to have my own reality show. Right? That is my whole deal for this, right? And so the bottom line is that just use me. And Sly, my older brother, That's going to be here. Sly's going to be here 2 weeks out of the month. Sly's going to be here. He's going to be going to be here a lot more than he usually was because Sly is doing this full time. Sly has a very, very big business. He has a big company. He's put everything, as I did with my companies. I manufacture my own clothing. I manufacture my own shirts and stuff, right? And I put even that on hold, right? So I could, because I can't dance at 2 weddings, right? You can't, you've got to be focused on what you're doing, right? And so Sly's going to be here. We have a great, great, great leader here. She's doing such a great job. She's really getting things done. We have all you guys here. We have some really good people in this room that are already in the business. You guys are blessed. I'm blessed to have you on my team. You guys are really doing a good job. And so, this young guy here too, right? I could raise her. The young kid, 18 years old, right? Bringing all these people with him every day, right? He's going to be one of my youngest millionaires ever. He knows that, I know that, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to Sly for a second. We're going to be finishing out here and at 1 o'clock as promised, and we'll move forward from there.
Okay, great. Well, you know what, guys? Here's an interesting thing, and I want to break it down real quickly for you. When I sat down with Ed Mercer, he said to me that he wanted to be in the Guinness Book of World Records, and also that he wants to create put together this reality TV show. Because some of the producers and also some of the investors in Hollywood kind of chickened out with this initial idea of taking away his money and everything else and put him in any city in the United States, 9 days he'll be living in $1 million house, right? And I said, well, that'd be an amazing reality show. But the whole thing about this is, for him, choosing coffee to create 100 new millionaires just blew my mind. Because the first question I asked him was like, are you serious, coffee? But you guys know the statistics.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's the most consumable product in the world. How can you not make money? All thanks to a company named Starbucks that brought coffee to the forefront. So you know what?
We love Starbucks.
You're a pretty smart guy for an 8th grade education. I must say that.
We love Starbucks. They allow us to charge $5 for a cup of coffee.
Yeah. So after thinking about it and kind of dissecting the whole thing, it makes a lot of sense. Doesn't it make sense to you? I mean, that's the whole thing. He just chose this vehicle to create 100 new millionaires. It just makes a lot of sense to me. And the reason why that we wanted to start here in the state of Washington, this is the coffee capital of the world. You talk coffee, everybody knows coffee. Who drinks coffee? Who drinks coffee? Thank you. Look around you. Look around. Keep your hands up. Everybody look around real quickly. Who drinks hot chocolate and tea? Keep your hands up. All right, so look around you. This is 100% true. 100%.
How many people use skincare 3 times a day? You're so excited.
Yeah. So, very good question. Yeah. How many of you took your vitamins this morning? 5 of you. So I think the facts, right? It's like it's written all over the walls. It's a fact. So it's amazing for me to look at that, and it's like companies like McDonald's, like you mentioned, changed their entire marketing scheme. From Ronald McDonald's. He tells me I'm wearing shoes. Look at his shoes. He stole it from one of McDonald's stores, as a matter of fact. So if you look at that on a serious, sorry. On a serious note, though, I mean, really, put your business hat on. That's all I'm asking you. Just put your business hat on. It's really the only way to create 100 new millionaires in 2 years. It's the only way. There is no other way. Think about it. The coffee movement right now, if you look at it, I'm a financial advisor. It's a $99 billion industry now, and it's only beginning. $99 billion industry and only beginning. So keep your business hat on. Just think about those figures and those numbers. The facts is there. So I hope that what you see today, to have my friend Ed Mercer be in the Guinness Book of World Records, because I would really love every single one of you to participate to help them.
Here's what I'm going to do today. I don't hand out applications because I don't want to have people think, that I'm here to get you involved. If you feel strongly that you want to get involved on the team and get going, I have the applications here, right? If you don't get involved, that's okay. We can still be friends, right? I say in the whole world there's only 3 ships. There's big ships and there's small ships, but my only ships are friendships, right? So friends are very important to me. So like I said, I can put the applications here. If you feel that you would like to have an application and get involved, I'm going to put them here on the table, and you feel free to come out and get one and talk to the person who invited you here today. Again, God bless you. Thank you for listening.